mic.
I can hear it in my mic.
Hey, can somebody go live quick on Facebook? Are we live right now? Somebody just go live and just double check to make sure the sound is good on this ultra special impromptu live here at Treadmill Heroes World Headquarters on a very special day. Did you pay for a subscription? Yeah, this is Joe Braymeyer. This isn't Treadmill Heroes.
I forgot you're verified.
Yeah, I'm verified now. I've got the blue check mark. That means I'm certifiable. Did you ever find us, Katie? Is the sound okay?
I hope so.
It's frozen. It's live. Can you hear it? Chino, is it good sound?
Oh, is it really?
Oh, well, are you connected to Wi-Fi or are you on dial-up? Maybe if somebody's watching right now in the comments, they can let us know if they can hear us okay, if the audio is all right. Well, yeah, maybe if everybody gets off the Wi-Fi here, being a Wi-Fi pig. Use your own data. Yeah, that wasn't part of the hiring process where I'm like, oh, you guys can use our Wi-Fi too.
Okay.
Are you good? Are we hot? You think has anybody commented where you can hear it? Okay. Hey, of the 5 people watching, let us know if you can hear the audio. We're still working out the bugs here on this.
Okay.
So if you're viewing, if you can hear it. You can? Oh, just from right there. Well, man, we're getting kind of clunky on the birthday episode here. All right. Is that better now, Katie?
Like I heard like a snippet, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
8 people watching.
8 people of the 8 people watching right now. Can give us a thumbs up if you can hear the audio okay. We just want to make sure we got good sound here before we get ripping. Maybe possibly. Before this thing goes hot and it lives forever online. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to get started. I got to believe we've got some good audio here. So, impromptu morning here.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay.
43 years ago.
Yes.
You birthed me.
I birthed you, my first child.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No one would be in this room right now if it wasn't for you. So this is more your day than mine.
Think about it.
43 years ago today, Mother, you became a mother for the first time.
Yes.
How exciting is that?
It was very exciting.
So we kind of put a pause on a story we were telling with the group, which, by the way, we've got a live studio audience in here this morning. Casey, can you kind of show the live Treadmill Heroes studio audience?
Woohoo.
Boy, and everybody's on the clock right now. This is an expensive interview.
I know, and
so
I don't like it.
I kind of like it.
Okay.
Let's tell a story about growing up, my childhood, something kind of fun since it's my birthday and I owe everything to you and the good Lord. So we got started telling a story about Butch, our first dog, and you guys named him Butch. As kids, we just thought he was a great big wolf-looking dog named Butch. We never knew the backstory.
Yeah. Alaskan Malamute. He was huge.
Yeah. He looked like that dog from The Adventures of Natty Gann.
Yeah, remember that?
I do remember that movie.
Yeah, that was sad.
Back when Disney was Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, tell the story about Butch the dog, how he got his name, how all that came to be, because this is very relevant in the town of Wilton, and it's a fun story. So fire away, Mother of 43 years as of this morning.
Well, we were playing cards with Skip and Sandy Bolt, our friends.
Yes.
And as the fire whistle went off in town, and as everyone knows, when the fire whistle goes off and it's in town, you get in your car and you drive to see where the fire is in Wilton.
So it wasn't a siren at that time.
Oh, it went off, and it was bad. So we hopped in the car, and we thought, well, we're going to go follow the fire trucks.
Where did you and Dad live at the time?
We lived in the trailer court.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we drove by 6th Street, and the house on 6th Street was on fire. And Skip
Pete and June Smith's house.
Smith, that's where they live. Yep. And
Okay.
And June, yep. And Skip made a big joke and said, haha, maybe you guys can afford this house because it's on fire and we couldn't find a house we could afford. And then a month later, we bought the house because we could afford it. Cost us $39,000 at the time, which seemed like a lot of money. We had to get a big loan.
That's a
and
big ass house
was
for
a big-
$39,000.
now, but back then, I mean, it was
Yeah.
nice, but it had a lot of fire damage, and I think Dick Villette had something to do with it. Maybe Butch Hibner was an uncle or something. They cleaned it up quite a bit. But Butch Hibner was the guy that lived there.
Okay.
And he was sitting in a chair smoking a cigarette, and it fell in his lap. And there was a great big mirror on the wall, and it reflected in the mirror out into the street. And so all the fire guys were there. The ambulance was there. And
So
he didn't pass away in the house. At least they told us he didn't. That he died later on at the hospital.
That was a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
So-
was.
so in other
his name
words-
was Butch. And he used to go down to the gas station that we have, and he would sit out front, and everybody knew who Butch Hibner was. So, yeah.
So in other words, Butch dies in his chair, or is
yeah.
dying in his
Is
chair,
dying in his
smoking
chair.
a cigarette.
Yeah.
Cigarette falls, chair catches on fire.
Yes.
The reflection,
From this
sadly,
big, beautiful mirror.
the reflection of Butch burning in his chair is reflected in this giant mirror that people outside can
Someone
see.
caught it and called it in.
Fire department shows up, put out the fire,
Yeah.
done deal. You guys end up buying the house. And that's the giant mirror that is in
Our house.
our
now.
house, your guys' house, the house I then ultimately grew up in, which is right across the street from
Yep.
Pete and June Smith's house.
Mhm.
But that mirror was in that house, and we lived there till I was about 5, right?
Yep.
4 or 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah. 4.
4, because,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was in Mrs. Jenkins' class when I was 5, and
And
we were
moved
from that
across
house,
the street. Yeah,
right
we
across the
just
street.
Moved across the street.
So now here's where it gets a little eerie. There were some peculiar activities that took place in the house that Butch burnt up in
We're
and
not
died when I was a kid.
superstitious,
Yeah.
But in the what we called the baby's room upstairs, you would open a door and walk up into the attic. It's just a little room, but then the door goes up into the attic, and we would hear music a lot playing in the attic. And then every time we would get to the top of the stairs and go to open the door, the music would stop. And then we'd go back downstairs. But you grew up there. You didn't get...
Well, you
there
never
was-
told me about any of this. Thank God.
Yeah. But no, it would play off and on. And we did ask Pete and June about it, but they've never heard it.
Well, maybe they have.
Maybe they have.
Maybe it's
I
still
don't know.
going on. If Pete and June
Maybe.
Smith are watching,
I don't think
are
they
you getting
have.
music
I don't
from
think-
the attic in the house that you live in now? And if you are, that's probably Butch, and you should probably get a dog quickly and name it Butch.
Because our first dog then that we got, we named him Butch because of Butch Hibner from across the street.
Wild.
Wild. Nice dog.
That is a little bit of Wilton history right there, folks. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Seems like an odd story to tell on my
your
birthday,
birthday.
but I think it's relevant because it's a childhood story. And
And we all love Butch.
you never told me this until just a few years ago.
Oh,
I knew nothing about any of
No.
this.
no. But Dad will remember all the music playing.
Well, on this birthday of mine, rest in peace, both Butches, because Butch the dog is no longer with us either.
No, sadly.
Yeah.
He was a nice dog.
He was a good dog. I know I've got a lot of friends that remember Butch because he weighed, what, 180 pounds?
Yeah, he was a great big dog. And when he passed away, it took 3 guys to carry him out of the house. We put him down in the kitchen.
Do you want to? We should say what happened to Butch. It's so funny, and enough time has passed now because this was almost 40 years ago. Well, Butch probably died 35 years ago.
Yeah. And he was so big, and we couldn't dig a hole in the yard. Like, you're not supposed to ever bury your pets in your yard. But we knew someone that worked at the cemetery, and maybe on the outskirts, they dug a hole and put him there. And I don't know who it was.
In an unmarked grave.
I don't know where he's at.
So without naming
I'm not
names,
going to name names.
somebody
There
is a 180-pound Alaskan Malamute buried somewhere
in the
down
cemetery.
at the cemetery.
At the time, it was on the outskirts.
Well, they've
Yeah,
expanded.
I know they've expanded. Yeah.
I wonder if anybody ever hit bedrock digging a new
I
hole.
hope not. I hope he's still there. I think he's still there on the edge that nobody will ever find.
What a happy birthday story that is. So there's a little Wilton history for you guys. I can't think of a better guest to have on an impromptu live than my lovely mother, Lenore, the Raven. Quote the Raven, nevermore Lenore. That's why you've got all the ravens around your office here. And I'm looking forward to a happy birthday weekend. I feel like this should be a week-long celebration.
It should.
It should.
But it won't be.
It won't. Maybe we could tie it into like a,
yeah,
and speaking of birthday, yes, this little guy right here. My daughter, Charlotte, just started picking up crocheting, and she's gotten so good. Here, Casey, hold this up in front of the camera there so you can see it. So we play a game called Contento, and it's basically kind of a screw your neighbor. You don't want to have the lowest card at the end of each round. And it's called Contento. We've been playing this for years. And this marker determines who gets to go first on each round, so it travels around the table. And so I told her I wanted a little chili pepper with a sombrero on it to be the Contento marker, and she gave me this for my birthday this morning. And I got to say, it's probably the greatest birthday gift I've ever received. So thank you, Charlotte.
She did a great job.
Thank you, Mother. Thank our live studio audience here. And, make some noise. You got to be loud. You got to be loud, otherwise no one's going to hear it.
And thank you, Butch.
And thank you, Butch. And later on today, I've got some exciting announcements. I'm going to be doing a very special pre-Thanksgiving show on Wednesday morning. I'm going to announce the guests later. We're going to get all that lined up. But it is going to be a perfect show to watch right before the Thanksgiving kickoff weekend here. And family, it's going to be great. So while I'm enjoying my family and my birthday, I hope you're enjoying your family and your day today. And hey, don't just be super, right?
Be super duper.
Be super duper. See you guys later.